Hey, Patrick, I appreciate you coming to me with your press release. And hey, it was just a good time to be able to reconnect with you the other day, just over the phone. But I appreciate you coming to me with your press release and just to see like what thoughts I might have. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of document some thoughts, some suggestions. At the end of the day, nothing that I say is like, I take everything that I say for a grain, with grain of salt. I haven't been working in the PR industry for like many years. And in fact, I've only made probably like 5 or 6 press releases in the past, but I do work with a company named Susan Decker Media, who does all of Hugh's culinary press releases, Joey Chestnut's press releases, and has really helped with some of Startup Foundation's press releases. So been able to learn a little bit. So I'll just kind of throw some ideas at you that I've learned from her and just some of the few press releases that I've made. So just a few things to start out. So GG Tourneys at GG Tourneys. So if I search that up, let's see, at GG Tourneys. So if I search that up, the account that comes up is Global Games, and there's one follower, and it just obviously is not you guys and just doesn't have any credibility. So either A, I would try to see maybe what you guys can do, maybe about getting that handle or getting a different one or just something like that. Because if I'm a reporter, I might go to Twitter or maybe some other social media outlet that holds credibility to a brand. Maybe Facebook, maybe Instagram, but Twitter is usually a good one, a good go-to for journalists and people in the media. That'd be something to look for. The second one is your website. And I'm guessing maybe like when you had planned to like release this, maybe your website was gonna be done by then. But at this current point in time, I wouldn't put the press release out if, and I know we talked about this on the call, but especially not if your website doesn't, or at least your link doesn't take you to where it needs to go. Jumping into the press release, so like the main kind of title, I don't know what you'd call this specifically, but it's like the main title of the press release: GG Tourneys set to launch beta in May. And so, one perspective I'm going to add here is just like a devil's advocate perspective, just because like I'm just going to try to create the perspective of like maybe some journalists, some of the media, they're getting hit with all these requests. They're getting people just begging for them to do a story, and they're just sifting through and just kind of making quick decisions. So if I see the main title is GG Tourneys set to launch beta in May, I don't, me as a journalist, I don't know why, since that being like the main title, I don't even know why that's something that I can write a story about or if people would care about. Now, let's say GG Tourneys has been building some community notoriety and it's been doing a lot of beta tests and had some events here, maybe got some PR news over here. And then all of a sudden you guys are like, hey, now we're about to launch beta. Like then that would make sense that the media wouldn't want to write about, because they know that the community, the people consuming their content might be anticipating the launch of this app. But the anchor doesn't know that. The news anchor, the news people, they aren't as passionate about you or about your product as you are, so they can't necessarily immediately fathom, at least within seconds when they're making these decisions, why that's worth writing a story about. Now, as far as the second headline, new mobile gaming platform takes flight in effort to help gamers. I like that that wording. I like the takes flight. Like it makes it feel like it's like a video game or a simulator or something like that. So that's pretty cool. But that's just, it's kind of arbitrary. It's very vague. It's like new mobile gaming platform takes flight in effort to help gamers. Like help gamers in what way? Like and what kind of gamers? Is this gamblers? Is this people? Is this my son who plays Fortnite? If maybe I'm if I'm the news anchor thinking about the mom or the parent watching this, like what does this actually mean? So maybe you can have I know one thing that we talk about on our call is like this level of transparency and trust that you're creating in these gaming communities. Like that's something that like is very, very valuable and reputable and respectable. So, that's something that parents want to hear about. People in the media want to be promoting trust and transparency. Investors, they want to, be a part of things that creates trust and transparency. Like that's very trendy and just desired in today's day and age. And as humans, for sure, but especially in today's day and age. And so, I don't know, totally throwing this out there. Maybe you have new mobile gaming platform creates new level of trust and transparency, or new level of trust in gaming communities or in young gamer communities, maybe like, because even, I mean, now granted from the gamer side, if they see young, like if I'm a 21-year-old gamer, a 23-year-old streamer, and I see young, then I might not associate that with myself. So there's a couple of different caveat perspectives there, but, but seeing that you're creating trust and transparency specifically for X audience, then I kind of have a little bit of understanding of, oh, wow, this is very important. I like this. or at least I don't have anything necessarily to point out in this first section. Just one thing that I notice here is people in the media aren't going to know what smurfing and sandbagging is. So, you're just going to need to put like scamming or, um, systematic lying in the industry or like whatever that might look like. But just people won't really know what smurfing or sandbagging is. Um, Instead of saying thanks to proprietary algorithm, I'll probably just say with our proprietary algorithm, players who engage in gameplay X, Y, and Z, just because it sounds a little bit more professional. I like down the stuff down here, except change these names. I like this right here. The immediate payouts to winners. Again, with not thanks with our exclusive partnership with Stripe, because like that sounds credible. That sounds reputable. Like that shows that like you have leverage and authority, and just kind of it gives a little bit of dose of credibility as well, since a huge company like Stripe would partner with you. So yeah, that's is dope about Juju Tourneys, best examples, found commerce fund, pilots work fund, disabled everybody. Yeah, cool. So yeah, those are just a few things I had on there immediately. And then like as a different perspective. So here's a press release that Susan Decker, who I mentioned, she's that PR company that I work for, and she was actually in the media for like over a decade. So she was a news anchor, and now she's a PR company that helps create press releases for people in the news. So she like knows exactly what they're thinking. So it's great. So essentially what she did was for media release, you had that. I think you had maybe had a logo too, or maybe not, but maybe since you don't have this stuff yet, maybe you put a logo there, or maybe you get that stuff set up. I don't know. Then she put, for more information, please contact, because if a news anchor does see your press release and is like, I want to talk to this person, well, or I have a question about this, or let me find out this, or maybe I have a different idea to spin their story because I think it'll be this, they want to be able to call someone like instantly or email someone instantly, and someone needs to be able to reply pretty quickly on whatever that reporter needs, because the stuff and the information in the reporting world and just moves so quickly. So it'd be good to have for more information of someone that the person that news anchor can contact, and then that person would need to be able to be ready and stand by to answer any question or whatever. Very powerful headline: Joey Chestnut crushes an okay, it was pretty cheesy too, but Joey Chestnut crushes an unbelievable childhood dream eating challenge of chowing down on McDonald's Big Mac sandwiches. Wow, that was a mouthful. But there's just a lot going on in those, that in that 2.5 sentence, or one sentence, 2.5 lines. So, but then the headliner or the subline, or the smaller headline under that almost gives a little context what that actually means. Cheat day results in Chestnut consuming 32 Big Macs. So just right then and there, Joey Chestnut, the famous hot dog eater, he does a crazy feat. He crushes. There's a story because he talked about his childhood dream, and probably a lot of his fans didn't know he had a childhood dream. Then he talks about McDonald's Big Mac sandwiches, and people know how big those are and how crazy. So already just there, I'm like, that's interesting. But then when it says Joey Chestnut's cheat day resulted in him eating 32 Big Macs, you're just like, hold up, back up, what? And like we literally, we got, I don't even know how many. Actually, I can tell you how many news publications we got here. Yeah. I think it's on this one. And this wasn't even all of them too. This was just like a few of the outlets that actually, okay, here's all the outlets that took that press release. Here's just some of the bigger notable ones. These are the ones I actually emailed, and all the rest of these ones picked up the news that got from the ones that I actually emailed the press release. So that's pretty cool. And then it just says who, what, when, where, and then from there, okay, it gives a little bit more credibility on who Joey is, and just kind of, maybe an artist or like a reporter, like, okay, I feel like I've heard of this person, or it's like, okay, this person sounds impressive, but I need just a little bit more credibility. Well, right there, they're going to have it right after that part. If they have any interest in writing a story about food competitions or food feats, like they're either going to say, nope, this is not for me, this is not for my audience, not for my column, or oh, this is exactly what I want to write right now. And then from here, a little more credibility, dives right into the story. Since being a kid, Chestnut dreamt about X, Y, and Z. So I don't know if that is comparing to you. I don't know if that's going back to your press release. I don't know if that's, some story of some kid where, he, and I don't even know what that story would be like, but maybe it's a little bit of, some story of a kid where he, I don't know, this is dramatic, but let's say like there's a kid who's making some money, like making a little bit of money or making $0 online gaming, but he was really, really good at video games. And all of a sudden, either from your platform, if you have a testimonial, that's even, I mean, that's huge, but either from your platform or from just someone that you heard, then once this kid got into like competitive gaming or some tournaments, he was able to like pay for some food or bills for his family or something, just some kind of crazy story. And it doesn't need to be like super dramatic like that, but just more so a story that just kind of draws some emotional reaction around your product, and really, kind of paints the picture of the social impact here, besides just this is a press release just to sell or to be used as advertising collateral for another tech startup company that, that's coming out here. And I'm speaking from a potential perspective of the people in the news. So yeah, man, again, I think based on what we talked about the other day, that you're going to wait a little bit to rush this or to push this thing out. But those are just some of my thoughts on your press release.